Welcome to Misery, where the shadows come alive and the unknown whispers your name. I'm Melody, and here I narrate original scary stories crafted to send shivers down your spine and make your heart race. Whether you're a fan of the eerie, the mysterious, or the downright terrifying, you're in the right place. Turn off the lights, sit back, and let the darkness unfold. Welcome to the realm of Misery.
Babysitting the Thompson kids was always easy money. The kids were well behaved, and the house was equipped with every modern convenience you could think of. So when Miss Thompson called me up for a last-minute babysitting gig on a stormy Friday night, I didn't hesitate to accept. The rain was pounding down in sheets, lightning illuminating the sky every few minutes as I drove up the long, winding driveway to the Thompsons' mansion. The house looked like something out of a Gothic novel, perched on a hill and surrounded by tall, swaying trees. I shivered, more from the eerie atmosphere than the cold. Miss Thompson greeted me warmly, apologizing for the short notice and promising me they'd be back by midnight. The kids, Emily and Jacob, were already in their pajamas, eyes wide with excitement at the prospect of a night with their favorite babysitter. After a quick rundown of the rules and a promise to call if there was any trouble, the Thompsons left, and I was alone with the kids. We settled into a cozy routine, a movie, popcorn, and some board games. As the storm raged outside, I tried to ignore the unsettling creaks and groans of the old house. By 9 p.m. I had both kids tucked into bed, and the house was eerily quiet. I decided to curl up on the couch with a good book, but it wasn't long before strange things started happening. At first it was just little noises, a thump from upstairs, the creak of a door, the whisper of the wind through the cracks. I told myself it was just the house settling, but I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. Then the power went out. I cursed under my breath, fumbling for my phone to use as a flashlight. The storm must have knocked out the electricity. I made my way to the kitchen to find some candles, the beam of my phone casting long, flickering shadows across the walls. As I lit a few candles and set them on the kitchen table, I heard a soft, almost imperceptible giggle. My heart leapt into my throat. It sounded like Emily. I grabbed a candle and made my way upstairs to check on the kids, my mind racing with all the possibilities. Maybe she had a nightmare, and maybe she was playing a trick on me. I pushed open the door to Emily's room, the candlelight revealing her small figure, sound asleep in bed. I sighed in relief, but the feeling of being watched didn't go away. I backed out of the room, leaving the door ajar, and checked on Jacob. He was also fast asleep, snoring softly. As I turned to head back downstairs, I caught a glimpse of something in the hallway mirror, a shadowy figure, just for a split second, standing at the end of the hall. I spun around, holding the candle high, but there was nothing there, just the empty hallway and the sound of my own ragged breathing. I hurried back downstairs, every creak and groan of the old house amplifying my fear. I told myself it was just my imagination, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very, very wrong. I had just settled back on the couch, trying to calm my nerves, when the front door creaked open. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. The Thompsons weren't due back for hours. Slowly I got up, holding the candle out in front of me like a talisman, and crept towards the door. It swung open wider, revealing nothing but the dark, stormy night. I closed it firmly, double-checking the lock, and turned back to the living room. That's when I saw it. Muddy footprints leading from the door across the living room and disappearing into the darkness of the hallway. My breath caught in my throat. I followed the footprints, my candle flickering ominously. They led me to the basement door, which was slightly ajar. I had a terrible feeling about this, but I couldn't just ignore it. Taking a deep breath, I pushed the door open and descended the stairs. The basement was cold and damp, the air thick with the scent of mold. My candle barely pierced the darkness, casting long shadows on the walls. At the far end of the basement, I saw a figure standing with its back to me. It was tall and gaunt, shrouded in darkness. I wanted to scream, to run, but my feet felt like they were glued to the floor. The figure slowly turned around, revealing a pale, twisted face with empty black eyes. It let out a low, guttural growl, and I finally found my voice. I screamed, dropping the candle and plunging the basement into darkness. I stumbled backwards, scrambling up the stairs and slamming the door shut behind me. I grabbed the kids, who were now awake and terrified, and huddled with them in the living room, waiting for the Thompsons to return. Every creak and shadow seemed like a threat, and I kept my eyes on the basement door, praying it would stay closed. When the Thompsons finally arrived, I babbled out my story, expecting them to laugh it off. But their faces grew pale, and Miss Thompson clutched her husband's arm. "We've been hearing strange noises from the basement for months," she said, her voice trembling. "We thought it was just the house settling." Needless to say, I never babysat for the Thompsons again. But to this day, I can still see that twisted face and those empty black eyes in my nightmares, haunting me every time a storm rolls in.